over 6 years that you've known Mr. Depp, have you ever witnessed him be physically abusive to any person?
Never.
And you've never witnessed him be physically abusive to Miss Heard, correct?
Correct.
You've also known Miss Heard for over 6 years at this point, correct?
Yes, although I have not seen Miss Heard for at least a couple years, perhaps 3 years.
In the 6 years that you treated in the over 6 years you've treated Mr. Depp, has Mr. Depp ever complained to you that Miss Heard has physically abused him?
No, not that I can recall.
Have you ever witnessed Miss Heard be physically abusive to Mr. Depp?
No. Correct.
You've also known Miss Heard for over 6 years at this point.
I went in to instruct one of the people with him to look for the tip of the finger, hoping that we would be able to put it back.
Was the tip of the finger found?
It was found.
Who found it?
I believe this man was their chef.
And do you know where he found it or where he told you he found it?
He said he found it in the kitchen area.
When you went into the house, did you see Miss Heard?
Yes.
And how did she appear?
She was certainly upset.
Did Miss Heard seek any medical attention from you for any injuries at that time?
No.
No, there was a text message where you got a text message from Mr. Depp.
Yes.
And he said he cut his finger, correct?
I think that's what it said, yes.
Okay. And the reference from the emergency room said that Mr. Depp had sliced his finger with a knife, correct?
Yes, that's what he told, because I was present for that. That's what he told the emergency room doctor.
Okay. So Mr. Depp told the emergency room doctor that he had cut his finger with a knife, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't put that in any of your notes that a bottle was thrown at Mr. Depp, correct?
Correct.
And you wrote, upon arriving at the home, patient was sitting in kitchen with scraped and bloody knuckles on right hand. Patient stated he punched whiteboard in kitchen after fight. Patient stated he'd been texting his friend explaining why he didn't show up to play music, and fiance got upset that he was not giving her enough support, and the fight escalated from there. You wrote that note?
According to this, yes.
More on my back right now. I'm fucking strong. If my arm is gangrenous, I would cut off. And you wrote, a patient finished filming and was extremely agitated leaving the set. Patient kicked in the door of his trailer and refused to speak to director. Patient was verbally aggressive to another person on the set. So for no apparent reason. Per MD, patient is to take Xanax 2 milligrams to reduce his agitation at this time. You wrote that?
According to these notes, yes.
In your time as a registered nurse, have you ever witnessed physical violence by one of your patients?
I do not recall ever witnessing any violence.
And when you say any violence, does that mean perpetrated by your patient or against your patient, or just
in general violence?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's probably a good break to go ahead and have our lunch break. So we'll go ahead and break until 2 o'clock. Do not discuss the case with anybody known to me outside research, okay? We'll come back and continue this deposition.